This is the recording for the Toefl practice tests. The material on this recording has been taken from previously administered Toefl tests. In this format, it is intended for practice use only. Reproduction of this recording is prohibited without written permission from Educational Testing Service.
This side of the recording contains the listening comprehension questions for Practice Test A. Side 2 contains the listening comprehension questions for Practice Test B. If you are having difficulty hearing this recording, make any necessary adjustments in the volume on your cassette player now.
In order to get the best possible results on your practice exercises, it is important that you understand how to fill in the answer sheets properly. Therefore, if you have not read Completing Your Answer Sheet on page 9 or removed the answer sheet for Practice Test A from page 13, stop this recording and do so.
You are now ready to begin Practice Test A. You should not use paper for taking notes, and you should not mark your answers or underline words in your book. On the day of the actual test, it will be considered an act of cheating to do so.
Find the answer spaces for Section 1 on your answer sheet. Then look at page 15 of your book and follow the directions as they are read to you.
Practice Test A. Section 1, Listening Comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers in this test. When you take the actual Toefl test, you will not be allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Try to work on Practice Test A in the same way. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear,
I don't like this painting very much.
Neither do I.
What does the man mean? In your test book, you read, A. He doesn't like the painting either. B. He doesn't know how to paint. C. He doesn't have any paintings. D. He doesn't know what to do. You learn from the conversation that neither the man nor the woman likes the painting. The best answer to the question, what does the man mean, is A. He doesn't like the painting either. Therefore, the correct choice is A. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
Excuse me, your car is blocking my driveway, and I need to go to the store.
Oh, I'll move it right away.
What will the man probably do? Number 2.
I've got a recipe for a garlic and hot pepper chicken dish. Want to try it tonight with a green salad?
You know, my stomach's a little on edge. I'd prefer something bland.
What does the man mean? Number 3.
Somebody's been leaving this door unlocked.
Don't look at me.
What does the man mean? Number 4.
The radio says there may be snow today. You'd better grab your boots just in case.
I was planning to do just that.
What will the man probably do? Number 5.
It's too bad you didn't tell me the news about Professor Tompkins earlier.
I only found out myself just now.
What does the woman mean? Number 6.
Hi, Cindy. Welcome back. Did you take many pictures on your vacation?
Thanks. Yes, I must have taken 1,000,000 of them.
What does the woman mean? Number 7.
It's going to be expensive to take the train to Chicago. Have you seen the rates?
Yes, I think we'd be better off driving.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
Did you know that Susan has 3 exams next week?
I guess that would account for her spending so much time in the library lately.
What does the man say about Susan? Number 9.
It's really cold in this apartment. Can we turn up the heat?
No. My last fuel bill was so high I had trouble paying it. Would you like a sweater?
Why does the man refuse the woman's request? Number 10.
I think I'll play some golf today.
But I thought you were going to work on the car.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 11.
Arthur's farewell dinner is this weekend.
Wish I could take time out for it.
What does the woman imply? Number 12.
The telephone rang several times while I was home this morning, but I couldn't get to it.
That's too bad. I was going to invite you to lunch.
What does the man mean? Number 13.
I can meet you at work if you'd like.
I'm off today. Do you know where I live?
What does the man imply? Number 14.
I can't figure out how to put this bookshelf together. Could you give me a hand with it?
Just let me finish straightening up the kitchen first.
What can be inferred from the conversation? Number 15.
I must have started this letter to the editor a dozen times, and I still don't know what to say.
Well, stick with it a little longer and see what happens.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 16.
Do you feel like having seafood tonight?
After that lunch, I'm not sure I can eat anything.
What does the man mean? Number 17.
I'd like to get a part-time job this semester since tuition's gone up so much.
That makes sense. Just make sure you don't get in over your head. We're here to go to school, after all.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 18.
I brought back your astronomy book. I thought you might be able to use it on your project. Sorry I kept it so long.
I was wondering where that book was.
What does the woman imply? Number 19.
Thanks for making my coffee this morning.
I figured you'd need it to get you going after a day like yesterday.
What does the man imply about the woman? Number 20.
These mosquito bites are killing me. I just can't stop scratching.
Next time, wear long sleeves when you work in the garden.
What can be inferred about the man? Go on to the next page. Number 21.
What a concert that was. You must be feeling pleased with yourselves.
We are, and judging by the amount of applause, everybody appreciated it.
What does the woman mean? Number 22.
I'm soaked. It started to pour the minute I got off the bus.
Well, change into something dry while I make you a cup of hot tea.
What happened to the woman? Number 23.
Professor Anderson suggested I get a tutor for calculus.
Well, it surely couldn't hurt.
What does the woman mean? Number 24.
I read about your promotion in the newspaper. You must be very pleased.
To be honest, I can take it or leave it. The new office is nice, but the workload has doubled.
What does the man imply? Number 25.
Do you know who took this message from Donald? I can hardly read it.
It wasn't me. I think it might have been Laura.
What does the man mean? Number 26.
What did you think of the article we had to read for physics?
It got off to a promising start, but the conclusions were unfounded.
What does the woman mean? Number 27.
Christine's been frantic. She has to get all her paintings from Johnson's class framed in time for the exhibition next week.
Didn't she know about the exhibition at the beginning of the term?
What can be inferred about Christine? Number 28.
What do you think I should name this kitten I found?
If I were you, I'd find it a new home. You know the dorm rules.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 29.
Don't you think it's strange that we haven't started receiving any mail here yet?
Well, sometimes it takes a while for the post office to forward it. I'm sure it'll come soon.
What can be inferred about the speakers? Number 30.
I really enjoyed that movie you've been raving about.
Oh, so you went to see it after all.
What had the woman assumed about the man? This is the end of Part A. Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you should not take notes or write in your book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 33. Listen to a conversation between 2 drama students.
Have you heard? A new academic dean will be installed this week, and it seems that he already has a lot of new ideas.
Oh, yeah. Campus Radio announced that he's starting a new internship program. Students will actually get a chance to join local opera companies on their productions.
That sounds intriguing. I wonder how he got the idea.
Well, it seems he set up a similar program in another university, and he feels that practical experience is an important addition to the artistic training in the theater.
You mean we'll get course credit for watching the opera companies rehearse?
We'll get course credit, all right, but we'll have to earn it by working hard with the company.
If I decided to participate, who'd decide what job I'd get?
First, you have to be a theater major to join the program, but the program coordinator would try to match students' interests with jobs wherever possible. And guess what? 1 or 2 music majors might be selected to perform with the company.
What? You mean stand up in front of hundreds of people and sing? I like acting, but can't imagine myself taking on an operatic role.
Number 31. Why was the new program started? Number 32. What will the students involved in the new program do? Number 33. What is required of students participating in the program? Questions 34 through 37. Listen to a conversation in the library.
Excuse me, I wonder if you could help me. The reference librarian at the main library suggested I come here.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm working on a term paper about the influence of television on recent United States presidential elections. I found a few of the books I need at the main library, but I was told that the library here at the graduate school had more specialized materials.
Of course, it depends on what you want, but we do subscribe to a large number of journals. Since you're working on such a broad topic, you'll probably have to do a lot of digging. It may take some time, but I'm sure you'll be able to find many articles relevant to your topic. We also have quite a few newspapers on microfilm.
I think I've come to the right place. How can I find out which journals you have?
I can give you a list of all of them. But if you want to search by author or by subject, you can use one of the computers over there in the corner. Everything we have is in there.
What if I run across a reference to a research study that isn't available here?
You can request any outside material just by typing your request into the computer.
You mean you can get material from other universities?
Not only from other universities, but from virtually any public or private library in the United States. The only limitation is that outside materials cannot be checked out.
Number 34. Why did the man come to the graduate school library? Number 35. What is the topic of the man's term paper? Number 36. What does the librarian say about the topic of the man's term paper? Number 37. If the man requested material from another library, what might he have to do? This is the end of Part B. Now read along as the directions for Part C are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several short talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be on from 9 to 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. The subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions, and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read, A, to demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B, to discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C, to explain the workings of the brain. D, to dramatize a famous mystery story. The best answer to the question, what is the main purpose of the program, is C, to explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read, A, it is required of all science majors. B, it will never be shown again. C, it can help viewers improve their memory skills. D, it will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, why does the speaker recommend watching the program, is D, it will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you should not take notes or write in your book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 38 through 41. Listen to a talk given in a university class.
In today's class, we'll be examining some 19th century pattern books that were used for building houses. I think it's fair to say that these pattern books were the most important influence on the design of North American houses during the 19th century. This was because most people who wanted to build a house couldn't afford to hire an architect. Instead, they bought a pattern book, picked out a plan, and took it to the builder. The difference in cost was substantial. In 1870, for example, hiring an architect would have cost about $100. At the same time, a pattern book written by an architect cost only $5. At that price, it's easy to see why pattern books were so popular. Some are back in print again today, and of course they cost a lot more than they did 100 years ago. But they're an invaluable resource for historians, and also for people who restore old houses. I have a modern reprint here that I'll be passing around the room in a moment so that everyone can have a look.
Number 38. What was in pattern books? Number 39. What course would this talk be most appropriate for? Number 40. According to the speaker, why were pattern books so popular? Number 41. According to the speaker, who uses pattern books today? Questions 42 through 46. Listen to a student telling his classmates about something he saw last summer.
When I was in British Columbia last July working at the department's archaeological dig, I saw the weirdest rainbow. At first I couldn't believe my eyes, because the bands of color I saw weren't in a single half-circle arc across the sky. Instead, I saw a full circle of rainbow hues hanging in the sky just above the sea. Inside the circle, there was a big white disk, and above the circle, there was another round band of colors forming a halo. There were curved legs of multicolored light coming off the sides of the circles. It was an incredible sight. I ran back to our main camp and tried to get our cook to come with me to see my fantastic find before it disappeared. He just laughed at my excited story and told me that what I saw was nothing special, just some sundogs. He said I'd be sure to see many more before I left, and sure enough, I did. When I got back from the dig, I asked Professor Clark about the sundogs, and she's going to tell us more about them.
Number 42. Why was the student in British Columbia? Number 43. What did the student find so unusual about the rainbow he saw? Number 44. What was inside the large circle? Number 45. What did the cook say about the phenomenon the student had seen? Number 46. What did the cook call the phenomenon? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a talk about the medical profession.
It seems like only yesterday that I was sitting where you are, just finishing my first year of medical school and wondering if I'd ever get a chance to use all my new knowledge on a real live patient. Well, I have good news for you. You don't have to wait until your third or fourth year of medical school to get some hands-on experience. The dean has invited me here to tell you about the university's Rural Opportunities Program. If you enroll in this program, you can have the opportunity this summer, after your first year of medical school, to spend from 4 to 6 weeks observing and assisting a real physician, like me, in a small rural community. You won't have to compete with other students for time and attention, and you can see what life as a country doctor is really like. The program was designed to encourage medical students like yourselves to consider careers in rural communities that are still understaffed. It seems that medical students are afraid to go into rural family practice for 2 reasons. First, they don't know much about it. And second, specialists in the cities usually make more money. But on the upside, in rural practice, doctors can really get to know their patients and be respected members of the community. I participated in the program when it first started and spent 6 weeks in a small rural town. Let me tell you, it was really great. I got to work with real patients. I watched the birth of a child, assisted an accident victim, and had lots of really practical hands-on experience, all in one summer. And to my surprise, I found that country life has a lot to offer that city life doesn't. No pollution or traffic jams, for instance. My experience made me want to work where I'm needed and appreciated. I don't miss the city at all.
Number 47. For whom is the talk intended? Number 48. What would be a successful result of the program being described? Number 49. What benefit does the program offer to participants? Number 50. According to the speaker, what is one disadvantage of a rural medical practice?